I still hear your voice at night. Make me feel alright. Jump right back into my heart. Cause we could dance the night away. Make me love you through the haze. Ain't no need to be afraid.
Hey, have you ever been in a meeting where everyone seems sharp, experienced, and suddenly certain about one risky decision? One person speaks, others nod. Before you know it, the room has agreed. It feels like the smartest people found the right answer. But what if you don't fully agree? You almost speak up, you don't. Months later, it's a disaster. Weirdly, most people secretly had doubts. No one said them. There's a name for that invisible pressure: groupthink.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Irving Janis coined the term, right? He studied disasters where the problem wasn't lack of intelligence, it was too much agreement. So what exactly happens in groupthink?
At the core, it's social. People want harmony and to belong. They don't want to be seen as the troublemaker, so they self-censor. A few dynamics show up again and again. Self-censorship, an illusion of unanimity, where silence is taken for agreement, and even mind guards, people who shield the group from dissenting info. Add a strong leader who signals a preferred option, time pressure, or a very cohesive group, and critical thinking starts to fade.
That illusion of unanimity is powerful. If everyone assumes everyone else is confident, nobody wants to risk being the lone voice of doubt. There's also pluralistic ignorance, where individuals privately disagree but think they're the only ones who do. Social pressure amplifies that.
Exactly. Janice looked at cases like the Bay of Pigs invasion and others where advisors all agreed with the leader's risky plan. Another famous example is the Challenger launch decision. Engineers had concerns about O-ring performance in cold weather, but the social and organizational pressures led to a go decision. These aren't moral failings, they're human failures to think independently under social stress.
That makes the danger feel very modern and relevant. Think startups, boardrooms, crisis teams, especially when decisions are urgent. So how do teams avoid falling into the trap?
There are practical moves leaders and teams can take. First, leaders should withhold their opinion at the start. If the boss announces a preference, everyone else tends to fall in line. Invite outside experts and dissenting voices. Break the group into smaller, independent subgroups to explore options, then compare notes. That reduces echo chambers.
I like structured techniques too. Assign a devil's advocate whose job is to challenge assumptions. Use anonymous voting or written feedback so people can express doubts without social cost. And try a pre-mortem. Imagine the decision failed and ask why. It helps surface overlooked risks.
Psychological safety is huge. When people feel they won't be punished socially or professionally for being wrong, they speak up. So celebrate dissent when it's constructive. Reward those who raise concerns early, not just those who agree quickly. Diversity of background and thought also helps. Different experiences raise different questions.
There's also timing. Don't force quick consensus under time pressure if you can avoid it. If a fast decision is unavoidable, make sure to collect private input first. You'll get more honest risk assessments that way.
One concrete checklist to carry into a meeting. 1. Leader stays neutral at the start. 2. Ask for anonymous concerns. 3. Appoint a devil's advocate. 4. Bring in an outsider or devil's advocate. 5. Conduct a pre-mortem. 6. Break into subgroups and reconvene. Simple steps, big payoff.
And remember, doubt isn't the enemy, it's a signal. A single voice of worry might seem petty in a confident room, but it can stop catastrophes. The most resilient groups aren't the ones that agree fastest. They're the ones that surface disagreement early and use it to get smarter.
So the next time you're in that room where everyone looks certain, ask yourself, who hasn't spoken? What doubts are being hidden? And what will happen if those doubts are real? Speaking up might feel risky, but staying silent can be far riskier.
That's a wrap for today. Think of this as a nudge. Disagreeing constructively can be the best service you do for your team. Thanks for listening to Brain Glitch, where every mystery begins with a story and ends inside your mind.
So, why do people stay silent even when they know something is wrong? It's one of those simple questions that opens into something much bigger. Think about it. For thousands of years, humans didn't evolve to stand alone. Belonging meant safety. Being rejected could mean being left behind, and being left behind could literally mean death. Our brains still remember that rule.
That's such a powerful image. It's easy to forget how deep that wiring goes. You're saying modern discomfort with disagreement traces back to survival instincts?
Exactly. Social pain? The sting of public rejection activates many of the same regions in the brain that respond to physical pain, so disagreeing can feel almost physically uncomfortable. It's not just awkwardness, it's ancient biology nudging us to conform.
Which makes me wonder, how much of what we call our opinion is actually influenced by that nudge? Are we thinking for ourselves or just echoing the people around us?
That's where the classic psychology experiment comes in. Volunteers entered a room, sat with other participants, and were asked a very simple question. Which line matches this example? The correct answer was obvious, until everyone else gave the wrong answer. One by one, the planted participants chose the same incorrect line. Then it was the real volunteers' turn.
I've heard about this. Some people change their answer even when they know it's wrong, just to match the group.
Right. Many looked confused. They knew the right choice, but a surprising number changed their response to fit in. Not because their eyesight failed them, but because the pressure to belong felt stronger than their confidence in what they saw. That's the power of conformity.
And when conformity mixes with fear, strong leadership, and a desire to avoid conflict, it becomes groupthink, right? A kind of collective blindness?
Exactly. Groupthink is dangerous because it hides in plain sight. Everyone believes they're thinking for themselves while quietly following everyone else. The group reaches consensus not because it's right, but because dissent is uncomfortable or even punished. The scary part is nobody always notices it's happening.
So if intelligent, well-meaning people can be pushed to agree with an obvious mistake, how often are our own ideas truly our own? That question is unsettling.
It is. Maybe more often than we'd like to admit, our thoughts are borrowed from the people beside us. But here's the hopeful twist. Groupthink isn't inevitable. The strongest teams aren't the ones that agree on everything. They're the ones where disagreement is safe.
Safe how? Like people feel comfortable saying, I think we might be wrong without being shut down?
Exactly that. Where asking, what if we're wrong, is treated as a responsibility, not a threat. History shows that a single voice, a person willing to speak up, can prevent disaster. Sometimes all it takes is one person to say, let's think again, and the course changes.
It's surprising how fragile collective certainty can be. Once everyone believes the group can't be wrong, that's often the moment it becomes most dangerous.
Maybe the greatest illusion isn't believing something false. It's believing that everyone else must be right. Our brains crave certainty, approval, and belonging. But the price of belonging can be silent, and silence can change the course of history.
So what's the simple thing people can do? How do we avoid becoming passive followers without turning every conversation into a debate?
A small habit. When you find yourself agreeing with a crowd, pause. Ask yourself, do I believe this because it's true or because everyone around me believes it too? That quick check creates a space for independent thinking. It doesn't require confrontation, just the courage to notice your own mind.
I love that. It's accessible and practical, and it's a reminder that being part of a group shouldn't cost your voice.
Precisely. Perhaps that's the biggest brain glitch of all. Our minds don't just shape reality. Sometimes the people around us shape our minds. Recognizing that gives us a chance to choose differently.
Thanks for the reminder. This episode really makes you listen to the quiet choices you make every day.
Thanks for listening to Brain Glitch, where every mystery begins with a story and ends inside your mind. See you in the next glitch.
After credits teaser. Next time, imagine taking a pill that contains absolutely nothing. No medicine, no active ingredient, and yet your pain begins to fade. Your body starts to heal. How can something that does nothing actually change your brain? We'll explore the placebo effect.
I still hear your voice at night, make me feel alright. Jump right back into my heart. Cause we could dance the night away, make me love you through the haze. Ain't no need to be afraid.